Salvete vos omnes, and welcome to the first season of Latin League and the first episode of the Latin League show. We're not stuck on that name, so feel free to send us suggestions. My name is Clint Hagan, and I teach at Fort Worth Country Day School in Texas. I've been involved in JCL for a long time, since my own high school days as an Amarillo High School Sandy. And I also love team sports. So I've been thinking for a long time about a way to create a team game for JCL that wouldn't require a lot of travel, that wouldn't be very expensive, and that would be flexible enough to fit into all of our busy schedules. In the last year, thanks to a great group of teachers, this idea has finally become a reality. And so I want to start by thanking all of the teachers that helped make this first season of Latin League possible. Our vice chair is Nikhil Ranjan of Texas, and the rest of the committee is Veronica Cambria of Pennsylvania, David Fisher of Nevada, Lindley Henson of Tennessee, Ina Kuntz of Maryland, Ron Ressler of Wisconsin, Joan Romanowski of Texas, and Brad Savage of Virginia. Multas gratias, Wobisago. We had 360 teams from 29 different states register for Latin League this year, and I'm just blown away by the response. As of now, on the website, latinleague.org, you can view the schedules for each round and see what other teams have been assigned to your regions. Some regions only have 5 teams instead of 6, and in that case, your team will have a bye in one round. During that bye round, you can still take the contest to see how you stack up against other people in your area or nationally, but it won't count as a win or a loss or a tie in your standings. All teams at all 4 levels, high school varsity, high school JV, middle school varsity, middle school JV, have been divided into these regions of 6 or 5 teams. As nearly as possible, we tried to group you with schools that are nearby. In some instances, it just didn't work. You'll play against all of the teams in your region once, and the school that has the most wins will be the regional champion. At the high school varsity level, the regional champions advance to our first playoff round, which is called Super Regionals. At the middle school level this year, the top 2 teams from each region will advance, because there's only 6 regions in the East and 5 regions in the West, and we want to have at least 8 teams in the super regional round. Now, here's Nikhil Ranjan to talk about the contents of round 1.
Thanks, Clint. Latin League is designed to test your team's knowledge over all the different topics covered at typical JCL conventions. Every round starts with a language section that features 1 reading comprehension section, 1 Latin grammar section, and 1 Latin vocabulary section. There's also a 4th section that varies depending on the round. It can either be Latin derivatives or phrases, mottos, abbreviations, and quotations, which we call PMAC for short. In round 1, that 4th section is PMAC. After the language section, there's a civilization or culture section, if you want to call it. In the middle school division, you'll be tested over Roman history, mythology, classical art, and Greek derivatives. On the high school exam, you'll be tested over mythology and Greek derivatives, as well as Latin literature and Greek history. Both tests, the middle school and the high school ones, will end with the same special topic on Roman construction methods and materials. If you're looking for any resources or study materials for any of the topics covered on the exams, take a look at latinleague.org and look for the link that says Study Buddy. For JV players especially, some of the questions can look really difficult, some of the topics can look really difficult, but don't worry about it too much. You're only competing against other JV teams. Some of the questions are designed for JV players to be able to get comfortably, but some questions are designed to be really hard for the varsity players to see if we can distinguish between them. As always, hope you have a great time competing in this first round of Latin League, and Bonum Fortunam, everybody.
Round 1 opens for competition at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday, October 29th, and closes at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, October 16th. That gives you and your coach an 8-day window for testing. Here's what that will look like for students. By the way, we are using Central Time for Latin League stuff, so you will need to adjust for your time zone. To start, one member of your team will need an electronic device with an internet connection. The site should work on any desktop, laptop, or tablet that has a modern browser like Firefox, Chrome, Safari, or Edge. It would likely work on a phone as well, but the small screen may make some things difficult. You'll open a link that your coach or test proctor will give you and enter in the names of the players on your team. In this first round, it's important to list all players who are on your team, whether they are alternates or players. While you can have up to 7 players on your team, only 5 can play in any one round. After you type in the testing code that your teacher or test proctor will have, you will see a verification screen. When you're ready, your coach or test proctor will give you a copy of the test questions, which will be on paper. You're free to write on that paper, but only the answers entered into the website will be graded. You'll have 45 minutes to complete the test and enter your answers. The timer on the screen shows how much time you have left, and it will turn red when it drops below 5 minutes remaining. If the timer expires, your answers will be submitted automatically. Otherwise, you just click the red Submit Answers button when you're finished. The next screen will show information about the test and the answers you submitted. You can print or screenshot this for your records, but your coach will also have access to your answers through the website. You won't get the results of your test immediately. The key will be posted after the testing window closes, and then there are 2 days for your coach to let us know of any errors we may have made in the questions or the keys. So final results should be posted a few days after the testing window closes. Here's the most important thing about the tests. It's really important that you not share any information about the tests with other people until the testing window closes. You can talk about the test with your coach or your teammates, but until the testing window closes, we need to make sure that no one gets an unfair advantage on the tests, because cheating on Latin League makes Julius Caesar sad. Actually, it would make everyone involved sad. Would you like to be featured on our show? We'd love to have videos or a picture from your team so we can give you a shout out. You can email photos or videos to info@latinleague.org. Thanks so much for joining Latin League and for joining us today. And be sure to say thank you to your Latin teacher for all the work they are doing so you can have this opportunity. You can find us at Latin League JCL on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I think this is how I'm supposed to say it. Smash that subscribe button to get notifications when we post videos. Thanks. See you soon.